Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chairman. Prior to calling the roll, I just wanted to announce for the audience that the change between the old agenda and the new regular meeting agenda is the approval of minutes that were listed on the printed agenda. So I reprinted them and provided them to the audience. With that being said, Freeholder Bergen,
Present.
Freeholder Estrada,
Present.
Freeholder Garrettson, Freeholder Hudak, Freeholder Jallo,
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Present.
Freeholder Williams,
Here.
Vice Chairman Kowalski,
Here.
and Chairman Granados.
Here.
Chairman, you have 8 freeholders present.
Thank you very much. Clerk of the board, please read the statement of Clerk of the board, please lead us in prayer and salute to the flag. There you go.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the board, please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion to approve the communications?
So moved, Mr.
May I have a
Chairman.
second?
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella and seconded by Freeholder Garrettson. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen,
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson,
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo,
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye.
Freeholder Williams,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski,
Yes.
and Chairman Granados.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. May I please have a motion to waive the reading and accept the minutes of all agenda setting sessions and regular meeting minutes from March 2nd, 2017 through December 21st, 2017.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Vice Chair Kowalski and seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen,
I abstain on the agenda session of December 14, 2017, and vote yes as to the remainder.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes, with an exception on an abstention on March the 2nd, 2017, agenda meeting, and August 10th, agenda.
Freeholder Garrett, I'm sorry, at this point, I call the 7 freeholders that are eligible for the vote. Freeholder Jallo,
Aye to all except March 9th, June 8th, September 14th, and November 21st, regular meetings.
thank you. Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye to all except July 13th, August 10th and 17th, and November 21st.
thank you. Freeholder Vice Chairman Kowalski,
Yes, with exception of April 6th, July 13th, July 20th, and October 19th.
and Chairman Granados.
Aye to all with the exception of March 9th, July 20th, December 7th.
Chairman, you have 6 votes in the affirmative for the minutes on the agenda, with the exception of the following: March 2nd agenda, where you have 5 votes and 1 abstention. For the March 9th regular, you have 4 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions. For the April 6th agenda, 5 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention. For the June 8th regular meeting, 5 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention. July 13th agenda meeting, 4 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions. The July 20th regular meeting, 4 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions. The August 10th agenda meeting, 4 votes with 2 abstentions. 4 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions. For the August 17th regular, you have 5 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention. For the October 19th agenda, you have 5 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention. The November 21st regular meeting, you have 4 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions. For the December 7th regular meeting, You have 5 votes in the affirmative, 1 abstention.
667, I think.
And finally, for the December 14th agenda meeting, you have 5 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention.
Thank you very much. Tonight, we have an ordinance for first reading. Clerk of the Board, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 795-2018, a bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery, new additional furnishings, new communication and signal systems equipment, new information technology and telecommunications equipment, and new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment in, by, and for the County of Union, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $46,584,699 to pay for the cost thereof, to appropriate state grants, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Thank you very much. Freeholder Bergen, would you please move ordinance 795-2018 for first reading?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As chairman of the fiscal subcommittee, I hereby move ordinance number 795-2018 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law, the public hearing and final reading to be held on September 13th, 2018.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. Motion was made by Freeholder Bergen and seconded by Vice Chair Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
yes,
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
And Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. We have an ordinance for first reading. Clerk of the Board, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 796-2018, an ordinance to amend the Union County Solid Waste Management Plan by including a general Class D recycling facility to be owned and operated by Safety Clean Systems, Inc., located at 1200 Sylvan Street, lots 21-24 and 26 through 30, block 580, Linden, New Jersey, to accept, store, and transfer used antifreeze for processing and recycling at off-site locations.
Thank you very much. Freeholder Bergen, would you please move ordinance 796-2018 for first reading?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I hereby move ordinance number 796-2018 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law. The public hearing and final reading will be held on September 13, 2018.
Thank you very much.
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Bergen, seconded by Vice Chair Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
yes,
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
And Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. We have an ordinance for first reading. Clerk of the Board, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 797-2018, an ordinance to amend Part 1, the Union County Administrative Code, Chapter 1, Union County Government Structure, Article 23, Office of the County Council, Part 2, Policies and General Legislation, Chapter 6, Affirmative Action.
Thank you very much. As policy chairman, I'll move ordinance 797-2018 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law. The public hearing and final reading will be held on September 13th, 2018. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Motion was made and seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
yes,
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
And Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 8 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. The meeting is now open to the public for the purpose on commenting resolutions being offered for adoption only. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and the resolution to which you're referring to, and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chair Granados. Bruce Patterson, Garwood. Good evening, and ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board. Bruce Patterson from Garwood. On page 3 at the very top, number 667, it's a shared services agreement with the Union County Improvement Authority for implementation of a strategic plan for the Union County Space Study. I guess I'm confused. It's for $45,000. But I'm confused. What is actually you mean by implementation? Because I know back when Director Guzzo was here, there was actually a Union County space study done already, and I'm just wondering if this is a duplication, unless implementation means something else. 668, right below it, is a corrective action for the financial, a corrective action plan for the financial statements. I guess could somebody just explain what the issues are for the corrective action? Number 669 to all the way down to 673. This is the old chestnut that I ask about a lot of times. Those numbers are modifying the budget. Totals about 1.4 million. I'm just wondering, does any of that money offset the previous budget appropriations that were put in place in the cycle a couple of months ago? Page 4, 679. It's a area plan, 2016 to 2018 area plan. It's an increase in funding, and it's now $5 million. The Director of Human Services talked about it a little bit, but I'm just wondering, what exactly does all this money go to? Somebody explain that. 685 on the lower page, Harbor Consultants. He's giving professional services for 5 properties. Could somebody explain what the properties are? And I just want to note that Harbor Consultants has donated $37,000 to the freeholders and their cronies in 3 years. Right below that is 686, and on the next page is 689. That's to CME Associates for, one's for licensed professional remediation services, $611,000. The other is for on-call environmental services, increasing 10 grand to 30 grand. I just want to point out that CME has donated $106,000 to the freeholders campaigns and their cronies campaigns in 4 years. A lot of money going to somebody who donates right back. Number 697 on page 6. It's to Beckerman, and it's Ace American Insurance Company. I'm just wondering, the Ace Insurance that I know had bought out Chubb Insurance, which Freeholder Mirabella had worked for and has a pension through. I'm just wondering if that's the same Ace, if somebody could explain that. Right below that, 699, Unum Insurance is getting something. You did ask about that. But from what I understand, Unum is having financial issues. So, I mean, somebody should be monitoring them a little closely. I don't know what happens if an insurance company goes over. I would assume there is a safety feature up at the federal level for that. 702, Developmental Directions is getting $329,000. That's on the top of page 7. Just wondering, how much is their fee to administer all this? 705 is the deer. I guess I'll talk about that in the public speaking session. 708 at the bottom of page 7, conservation of the deserted village. Could somebody explain what that is? Right below that is 709. That's the Equality Day, which all the Freeholder Board has joined in on. What is Equality Day? Well, what's going to happen that day? I'm just wondering about that. And 710, which is page 7, explain position controls. I guess it's just an overview. Normally, Attorney Barry mentions that. No other questions. So, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. First round,
I'll
the
start
county
with Mr.
manager.
Patterson for number 710. We have 8 total position controls over public works, facilities, and elections.
Thank you very much. In reference to number 688, Tom Minio, please. Right Tom? Oh, okay, all right. Yep. Hiding an audience.
It was just complaining that they were getting money. That we can do.
688, that resolution's for Dewberry Engineers. And that resolution is for hiring Dewberry to do construction inspection. The procurement of that contract was done through the federal process because it's being totally funded by federal money.
Thank you very much. 679, Director Anderson.
The increase is actually good news, is additional funding from the state and federal government. The services is for Union County residents ages 60 and older and their caregivers to provide home care, meals, transportation, adult daycare, legal services, and other variables of services for the adults that can remain independent.
Thank you very much. 685, Administrator Durbin.
Good evening, Chairman. So since the inception of the trust fund in 2000, the state has awarded the County of Union for their acquisitions over $14 million. The grants are reimbursable, and they require that the county produces and supplies various documents. This will help complete that process and will allow the county within the next few months to accept another 1.5 million of that 14.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In reference to number 667, I'd like to call up the IA attorney, Dave Mancello, and also Dan Sullivan. Both want to take over.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. This resolution will allow the authority to complete what we're doing on the space study. The second phase had identified certain properties within the city of Elizabeth, the old jail, the old parking garage as their condition, and what could be possible in terms of using those properties for our employees. This resolution here will also allow us to work with the city of Elizabeth to designate those properties within the redevelopment area of the city of Elizabeth and provide options for the board to make decisions as to where employees will be located and any other additions or subtractions in terms of the properties that the county owns.
Thank you very much. 702, Deputy County Manager Wagner.
Through you, Chairman, the $329,000 is used for grants for eligible seniors and for home improvements up to $24,999 for eligible residents of any age. The fees for that are included also that we pay for development directions. So far this year, they have gotten $9,000. For the whole funding year prior was $61,000.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And just reference to Equality Day, it's basically commemorating the 1920 adoption of the 19th Amendment that does not allow federal or state governments from denying the right to vote based off sex. Any other? That's it. Is there any other member of the public wishing to comment in? Did I answer all these? That's right. I answered all these questions.
Yeah, John Berry of Kenilworth. And just to follow up on 685, that open space trust fund money going to Harbor Consultants. It says 5 properties, but the open space has bought maybe 10 or 15, and none recently that I know of. So what are these 5 properties that have, you need, I assume it's a report, 38,600. What are these properties and why are they different from the other, well, however many, you can answer how many properties there were bought altogether. What makes these 5? And how recently were these 5 bought? I mean, I think there's nothing been bought in like 8 or 9 years or something. So what is it about those 5? And what does Harbor Consultants do? I mean, do they provide, do they do some kind of report or reporting to the government or anything that can be Oprah'd? And have they done this in the past? Is this an annual thing that they need to do for these 5 properties? And that's it, just more detail on that.
Thank you. Open Space Administrator, Vicky Durber.
Thank you, Chairman. The 5 properties in question are Stanford Drive in Berkeley Heights, the estate of Eric Miller and Clark, the Bendick property in Scotch Plains, Graywell Acres Park in Rahway, and the Esposito property in Clark. And these are 5 properties of, I should know off the top of my head, about 18 that we have acquired, about 313 acres total. And these are just the ones that are in the process of being completed right now. Harbor will be doing survey work, and we have made some changes on some of the properties, so they have to update those surveys to reflect same.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other member of the public wishing to comment on resolutions? Seeing no one else, I'll formally close that portion of the meeting. May I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2018-666 through 2018-726?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella and seconded by Vice Chair Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Abstain on 2018-679 and 2018-692. Yes to the remaining.
Freeholder Estrada.
A no on 702 and a yes to the rest.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
And I see Freeholder Hudak has rejoined us. Freeholder Jallo.
No to 702, aye to the rest.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
And Chairman Granados.
Aye to all.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative with the exception of 3 resolutions, where you have 8 votes in the affirmative with 2 votes in the negative for resolution 2017-702. And you have 8 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention for resolution 2017-679 and 692.
Thank you very much. The meeting is now open to the public for the purpose of commenting on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute time limit. And before someone goes up, I know that our county council has a couple remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, recognizing the fact the number of employees from Cornerstone are here this evening, I've been asked to make the following statement with regard to Cornerstone. Safety of our employees and those under our care at the Cornerstone Behavioral Health Hospital are paramount to our concern. Our staffing ratios continue to meet state standards, and please note that with reference to the incident which occurred on July 28th, it is currently under investigation, and we will not have any further comment on that matter at this time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, County Council. Any member of the public?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, and
Good evening.
other ladies and gentlemen in the council. My name is Joshua Castillo. I'm from Mountainside, New Jersey, and actually I am an event representative from the World Mission Society Church of God. We are a worldwide organization in over 175 countries and over 2.5 million members. And the reason why I'm here today is to, first of all, meet all of you guys. It's a pleasure to meet you guys and seeing you at work. I met Director Zuberman as well, Director of Parks and
Director
Recreation. Yeah, but the reason why I'm up here is because we really look forward to spreading the love of a mother throughout our New Jersey area, and especially here in the Union County area. And primarily our goal is to do unifying events, volunteer service events throughout the whole county, which will bring the communities together and ultimately make the Union County area a better place. So this is why I came up, is really to extend our hands and say that we would like to work with you guys to further the goals of Union County, to improve it for our residents. So I don't know if there's any opportunity that we can discuss of like how we can partner up together for future events. But that's pretty much my comment. And again, my name is Joshua Castillo, and I would be looking forward to talking to every single one of you guys.
Thank you
so
very much. Mr. Castillo, we just appreciate you being here and working to improve the lives of our residents through different community service projects. I know if you give your information to Clerk of the Board, Jim Terry, he'll make sure that we set the meeting with the county manager and any other freeholder who would like to meet with you.
Great, perfect. So thank you so much.
Anyone else from the public?
I don't really wait to the end. Okay, good evening, Chair. Good honest, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Yeah, I was going to talk about the deer. First, just for a point, Freeholder Hudak had left around 7:50, and he came back at 8:35. He missed most of the agenda meeting. I don't know if you didn't make mention of that, so I guess I'm reading it into the record. I hope he's okay. I didn't hear any excuses, so. But anyway, the deer. I mean, I can't argue the actions that need to be taken, but we really have to look at why there is so much per square mile. And I'll tell you, I drive down Cushing Road, and that's one of the worst ones per square mile. And I'm in Fanwood quite frequently, and the deer are just wandering around the town at night. They don't really, I don't know, they walk around in the daytime, but at night they're all out there in groups of 3, and some are 6. And anyway, the result, and I would assume everybody knows this, but I just want to reiterate it in public, is the overbuilding of every single square foot of property. And I do appreciate the freeholders preserving acres, 300 and some odd acres, as Vicki Durbin said. I do appreciate that much, but it's just the overbuilding. And the sad part is it's right now it's resulting from the affordable housing mandates, which I don't find any problem with. However, it's the market rates that go with that, and because of that, basically for every one affordable housing unit, the developers are building 4, 5, 6 market rate units, and the obligations are high for each town in Union County. So we're talking about thousands. Freeholder Marabella, part of Scotch Plains, knows that Al Smith, the mayor, has been complaining about 2,500, 3,500 units that are probably going to be situated in Scotch Plains. And this is on open land. Garwood is factories, so I guess the deer don't hang around anyway. But I mean, the open land, it's just pushing the deer and centralizing them. And then, of course, we're going to come around with archery and guns and kill them. I mean, it's just boggles the mind, where we're at. I mean, they were here basically before we were. So, just moving forward, the librarians, it's always great to see them. I really have a problem that they really should be paid more, but that's just my feeling. What's interesting about librarians? You could actually call up the library and ask them a question, and they'll actually research it and get back to you with the answer. I mean, that's what's amazing about the library. I really do appreciate their services that they provide. Another issue just to bring up is composting. I haven't heard much about composting. The last time I heard was you guys were buying all sorts of major cost equipment. Maybe Director Graziano can clarify this a little further. But we're spending a couple of $100,000 taxpayer money on all this composting equipment for leaves from the various towns. And I'm just wondering, we were going to be doing something, selling it, I don't know, to developers or to landscapers or something. I'm just wondering, all this money that we spent, are we actually making a profit on this, or is this a loss that we're looking at every year? I mean, do we have a profit margin in mind that we're shooting for? Anyway, I mean, that's just my questions. Hopefully somebody can answer that. So, outside of that, thank you very much for preserving the land, and maybe we can push all the deer into the 300 acres. So, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
So I do apologize. I had a small emergency at home. I had to run back and forth. It's just my wife for a few minutes. So I do appreciate your your
That's right.
concern, Mr. Patterson. Thank you.
Thank you for your Hudak. And just in reference to the compost, we'll make sure that we have the information in reference to figures by tomorrow for you, okay? Any other members of the public wishing comment? Seeing no one else, I'll formally close this portion of the meeting. Oh. Oh, sorry, oh, yeah.
Thank you. I really hate being the last one here, so I'll make it very quick. Sid Blanchard, Executive Director of Community Access Unlimited in Elizabeth. I'm a citizen of Scotch Plains and appreciate the work being done there. I really, Mr. Chairman and honored members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, really want to report one of my roles is president of a condo association in Roselle that back in February 3rd, it was on the newspapers, national TV, 30 units, 30 homeowners, working people that owned their individual condos were made homeless that Saturday morning. Very cold, rainy, wet, frozen morning. And I just want to kind of do an update of what's happening there because it involves not only the 30 unit owners, but 14 people with disabilities and jobs for about 30 employees who are supporting people there and all their families, all part of Union County. And to date, I do want to thank the county, the emergency response, social services, also county employees who came out that morning, also councilwoman from Roselle who came out to follow up to help all the unit owners as well as people with disabilities that came out and responded. Also the social service from other towns and the interfaith community that came out. Perhaps that's a place that our friend here that presented before may want to connect with the interfaith community of Union County, came out, particularly the First Press of Cranford, that responded to help all the unit owners and people with disabilities as well with clothing, supports. Needless to say, as president of the Condo Association, we've been battling with the insurance company that was very happy to take our premiums and very slow and reluctant to actually pay for the loss of the building, 30-unit building that was totally destroyed. We had to settle for 50% on the dollar because they were going to drag us out for the next 3 to 5 years. You know, it's the usual insurance company. However, the unit owners are meeting and are working together, and they really were able to come together because of the support of the community and also the work of what the county does, Roselle as well, and working together. So I wanted just to give you an update on what's happening. Thank you for your response and the ability and understand that social services that's in Union County and the social service nonprofits that work with the county are essential to all people, not just people that are poor, not just people who are in distress, but anybody's home can catch on fire no matter where you live in the county. Anybody's home and family can become homeless. And without the safety net that you have wisely built over these years, and certainly through the Human Service Advisory Committee, and we certainly thank you, Freeholder Kowalski, for being supported there and in attendance there to listen what's going on. I just want to encourage the county to continue the support, particularly in times of things that are going down in Washington, D.C. We're transferring $1.5 trillion to 85% going to the wealthy, and the tax bill and cuts going to the states and the counties and the cities, and taking it out of poor people's pockets. So I want to thank you and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, just want to acknowledge and thank Director Debbie Ann Anderson and her staff for making sure that they worked readily to provide assistance, and the many freeholders, part of this freeholder board, who that same morning were making phone calls to the county manager and deputy county manager, making sure that we're there on the ground, making sure we're providing additional services. So I just want to thank you for that. Now moving on to freehold. Well, any of the member of the public wishing to comment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. My name is Priscilla Searles Burris. I'm a resident of Fords, New Jersey, but I work at Cornerstone Behavioral Health. I've been an employee there for 16 years. I've been a nurse for 18 years. So most of my career has been at Cornerstone, formerly known as Reynolds Hospital. I'm the president of the nurses union there, represented by HPAE. We have our staff rep here, Dawn. Thankfully, she's here with us today. I just have a small thing to say. We serve a marginalized, chronically mentally ill population, mainly from Union County, Middlesex, and Essex counties. I'm here today to just shine a small spotlight on what's happening on top of the hill at Cornerstone Behavioral Health. And this year alone, the assault of 2 RNs and many IAs, who are called institutional aides. They're our right hand, they're our eyes and ears on the unit. They have also endured several assaults on the unit, mainly because of the staffing, inadequate training that's not ongoing. Data suggests that over 75% of healthcare workers have been assaulted who work on psychiatric inpatient units. I'm just here today, and we're all here today to really encourage, to have a conversation, an honest conversation on what's happening, a conversation about ongoing staffing, ongoing issues regarding training. And unfortunately, I did not want to mention the incident that happened 2 weeks ago, but it's unprecedented. It's never happened before. And hopefully, if we can have a conversation, we can prevent it from happening again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. When it comes to Cornerstone, we continue to look at ways to be most effective when it comes to the safety of our employees, because we do value every single one of our employees, and know that you're tasked with not easy tasks when it comes to dealing with the patients at Cornerstone, and we will definitely be in conversations just in reference to the legal matters. That's something we can't comment on, but everything else we're more than willing to sit down and talk about, because we do respect every single one of our employees, and thank you for your service to helping out the individuals within the facility. Any other member of the public wishing to comment? From the public? Seeing no one else, I'll formally close that portion of the meeting and ask for freeholder reports with Freeholder Hudak.
Thank you, Chairman. Just a couple of brief comments. First, I want to thank the workers from Cornerstone who came here tonight to express their concerns. Please know we take it seriously, and we are confident that the administration will work to address them appropriately. I also want to thank those members of the community who represent the various libraries throughout the county who are here for grants. It's been wonderful over the past few years to see how innovative and diverse the use of those funds have been within the various communities, and just some of the presentations we saw tonight. It's very impressive. You know, a number of us have been able to come and see the funds at work in local libraries, and that's a wonderful thing. Lastly, I hope everyone is having an enjoyable summer. There's a number of tremendous events the county has been sponsoring. I've been able to join a number of my colleagues at our concerts and film series, and they will continue through the month of August, and I encourage county residents to get outside and enjoy our very beautiful park system. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you much, Freeholder Hudak. Freeholder Jallo?
No report, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Freeholder Mirabella.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm very pleased to report the Union County Office on Veteran Services has been very active this year, organizing a series of upcoming events in support of UC Hero, Chairman Granados' initiative for this board for our veterans. On August 23rd, the office will be holding its second annual Veteran Mixer at the Gallopin Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. On the 28th of August, the office will be holding a Know Your Benefits seminar from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the STEM building at Kane University to help our veterans get an understanding of their overall military benefits. On September 15th, there will be a veterans camp over at the Watchung Reservation, and on October 5th, a military campfire and hayride will be held at Warnanko Park in Elizabeth. Aside from those veterans events planned, upcoming, there is also Union County POW MIA Day, September 14th, Friday morning, 11 o'clock, in front of the courthouse building on Broad Street in Elizabeth. I encourage all residents to attend that ceremony. It's very touching, particularly to see our veterans that come out for that event. And want to mention also an event that I attended along with Chairman Granados, Freeholder Estrada, and Freeholder Williams in Elizabeth for our veterans. And they had to do with those veterans that were Elizabeth police officers, firefighters, corrections officers, sheriff's officers, and they received that night the Union County Medal and give them tribute and pay honor to their service, not only as a veteran, but as a public safety professional. This was done in conjunction with Elizabeth Councilman Grova and his office, and it was a great event, and I was very proud to be among the freeholders representing the county at that event. For more information on the services, please visit the website, ucnj.org/UC-Hero, or call the Veterans Office here at the county, Jana Williams, 527-4918, or email jwilliams@ucnj.org. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my comments.
Thank you, Freeholder Mirabella. Freeholder Garrettson?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Tonight I'd like to talk about two things that I think were very, very important the last couple of days. Many of us attended National Night Out, and it is obviously the 35th annual National Night Out. It bridges together the community with the police or law enforcement. I was able to go to 2. I almost made it to 3, but of course the storms had other things in mind. But with that being said, I was very, very happy to see that the county was able to support the 2 that I did attend. So I would like to encourage as we go forward that we continue to do such, because I think it's such a wonderful program and event that happens annually, and it was very good to see folks from around our county represented at these particular functions. So I just want to make sure as a board we continue to do that. The next is something that we have not done in the past, but it's National Health Center Week, August 12th through the 18th. I did a little homework with some help from our team here, and we found that we actually have a county facility in Plainfield that will be holding several events next week. The events will be Monday, August 12th, 13th, and 14th. They'll be providing free screenings, games, vendors, music, etc. But this is something that we obviously, tonight we approved it, so it's something that we can also just be a part of. It's a national campaign that I think is a great addition for our county to engage in, and if we get additional information, I believe the director may look at it, but it might be a great way for the freeholders to go and support that. The first day nationally is Legislative Appreciation Day. The next day, actually that's on the Sunday, Monday is honoring Health Center Heroes. On Tuesday, August 14th, Public Housing Health Centers Day. Wednesday is August 15th, Healthcare for the Homeless Day. Thursday, August 16th, Agricultural Worker Health Day. Friday, August 17th, Patient Appreciation Day. And Saturday, August 18th, Children's Health Day. So if we can participate or support these in any way, I think it will be great for our county and great to be a part of this national initiative. Those are my comments for the evening, and thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder Garrettson. Freeholder Bergen?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to address really briefly the issue of the space study. The county owns many buildings and a lot of land, and we rent a lot too. And we are in the process with the space study. First, phase 1 was to examine what we had. What we're doing now, phase 2, is to give this board various options of how we could proceed most advantageously to the county with using the space that we have. So I think it's a very good thing that we're not just jumping into this. It's a major decision that could affect the county for many, many years and cost many dollars. So to be looking at it carefully before we move ahead, I think is a very good thing. I have an event that's coming up, and it's in September, and it's sort of hard to think that we're that close to September that we're talking about events then. But this is actually a very important one. It's a screening of a documentary film called Making a Killing: Guns, Greed, and the NRA. We're partnering with a group called Moms Demand Action, who we've dealt with before, to present this film free of charge at the STEM Building Auditorium at Kane University, and that will be on Wednesday, September 12th at 7 o'clock. I encourage everyone with an interest in common sense gun control to attend this film. It helps to cut through some of the disinformation that's out there surrounding gun control issues. And it focuses on the real impact of gun violence on ordinary people. It addresses the role of the gun lobby in working against common sense rules that would protect us all. A discussion period will follow the screening, so come prepared with comments and questions. If you need more information about the film, please contact Natalie Hernandez, who heads our Office of Community Engagement and Diversity, and she's at 908-527-4880. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Freeholder Bergen. Ready to go? Freeholder Williams?
Yeah, I actually just have one thing. Coming up on September 26th, and I'm sure we'll mention it again next month, Wednesday, September 26th, we've got the 3rd annual Union County Means Business Expo, and it'll be held at the Warren & Co. Sports Center in Roselle. And as you know, Warren & Co. has been expanded as a result of the upgrades to the ice skating rink, and the center is open year-round now for recreational events. It's a great facility. Vendors are encouraged to come out and be a part of this particular expo. We work with local entrepreneurs. You can network with your peers, build your brands, and showcase your own products. There will also be a complimentary food tasting with food from the new Warren & Co. Sports Center. The event menu will be there for the tasting. So if you want more information, as always, contact the county. You can go to our website, ucnj.org/UCMB, Union County Means Business, or call Deanna Masaros at 659-7412. And again, we'll mention that in September. I think the tables go pretty quickly, so if you are an entrepreneur or if you have friends who are entrepreneurs who really want to showcase their wares throughout the county, please get on this. That's all I have, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Freeholder Williams. Freeholder Estrada?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My first comments go to the individuals who work at Cornerstone, our employees that I've seen for many, many years, and I appreciate very much the work that you do and the commitment to your job. There is no doubt, and we're all ears, in essence. We understand that we have a limitation of our comments that we can make, but it is our intention, I am sure, to look for ways that we can resolve whatever circumstance may arise. Understanding, and I would go back to the statement that was made earlier, possibly this is something that we'll have down the road to discuss, but I do want to take the time to recognize the job that you do. And we all know that. You've been there, many of you, for very familiar faces that I've seen for many years. And we do appreciate very much the work you accomplish. And the fact that the manner in which you take care of individuals that are traditionally put aside by society in certain ways. Cornerstones provides a safety net for individuals that very often, if they were not there in other times, there would have been someplace away that their family would have no access, and it would not necessarily be, because people do leave Cornerstones and live regular lives. And this is some of the things that people don't understand, and your commitment to that goal works very well. We wish that would work in every single circumstance, but it doesn't. But I do know the type of work that you do, and for that I thank you, and I know that many of my colleagues, or all of my colleagues, feel the same way. So that's in the issue of Cornerstone. I want to take the time to recognize also Investor Bank, which I know donated the scholarship that was given to the young man, Jeffrey Gonzalez, from the Union County Vocational School. I know traditionally, and I know BJ, who represents us at the NJAC, New Jersey Associations of Counties, has worked very hard to ensure not only that Inventors Bank, but I know people like Verizon and other companies every year ensure that they donate a substantial amount of money to at least one, if not two, members of every county. So figure it out. Counties, there's 21 counties in New Jersey. If you take, that's a substantial amount of money. The group comes together in terms of the NJAC Foundation to ensure that at least one, if not two individuals have the opportunity to have some help in terms of their education. We heard from a young man this evening that is outstanding. I think he's definitely have a future. And it is the caliber of the vocational schools that provides, that brings in kids from all over our county, brings them together in terms to make sure that their education levels are very, very, very well recognized. On the issue of library grants, you know, it's amazing. And for the last, I think, all 3 years, I think we have been coming forward with the library grants. And I've had the opportunity of visiting many libraries. And for example, last year we went to Plainfield, where it was amazing to see the young people, the little kids, playing on this table that allows them to utilize computers to make designs and everything else that I think. And today we saw on coding, there was a lot of movement in coding, which is something that in my generation was not something that we recognized, but the reality is that the future requires young people, and they do it more than most, understand how it really works in terms of achieving good computer skills for the future. So my congratulations to the library grants. And just let me make a comment in reference to a question that was made earlier about composing at the quarry. And I want to assure our resident who asked the question that I have visited on various occasions up to the quarry to see how the whole process is going. And I can tell you that it was a great investment that we make, because the outcome of that, not only will we see it already, but it will even improve. And that's something that, Mr. Patterson, I wish you someday we'll have the opportunity to come visit up there and see what exactly is going on, because it's a momentous job that they're doing, and it will, and I am very confident that will pay for itself in terms of in numerous years. Now, if you were expecting to get full refund in 1 year, I guess that doesn't work that way. It takes time, because you have to amortize the equipment that you're purchasing for the purpose of the betterment. But not only it's a good business sense, but at the same time, it allows municipalities to utilize the material at either no cost or very little cost compared to anything that you buy anyplace else. So I know they're doing a great job, and I have been up there and I've seen it personally. So not to worry. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder Estrada. County Council?
No comments, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
County Manager?
No problem, Chairman.
Thank you. Vice Chair Kowalski?
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to also thank the Cornerstone employees for your hard work in very challenging circumstances, and we appreciate your being here. Thanks also to Mr. Blanchard from Community Access, a great organization that provides services to people in need all over Union County and around the state, so thank you. And our librarians, of course, thanks to Freeholder Mirabella and our open space staff, and of course to all my colleagues for continuing the support to our libraries. We wish we could give them even more support, but we're trying to make sure that they keep going with the great programs that they provide, especially to children. I also want to let you know about something new that we're doing. It's a 24-hour homeless emergency response hotline. So many of us, we get wrapped up in the day-to-day, but people that are connected to us often can end up homeless. Mr. Blanchard mentioned the Roselle building that was burned out, and anyone can find themselves homeless, especially people who are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you are in need of emergency shelter, or if you're concerned about your risk of becoming homeless, this is a service that's available 24/7. It's operated by Gateway Family YMCA as a program of the Union County Department of Human Services. Gateway Family YMCA really works hard to help homeless and low-income households to achieve stable housing and self-sufficiency. It's, of course, best to call early if you're having troubles, but it's really never too late to call for help. So please reach out to the hotline at 908-249-4815. That's 908-249-4815 if you need support and assistance. I'd also like to mention that several of us, Chairman Granados and freeholders Mirabella and Estrada and myself, I think there might have been a couple other freeholders there, we're at the opening of a newly renovated Lesner building for Union County College. We had the magnet school from Votech Schools represented tonight by Mr. Gonzalez, but Union County College continues to keep education strong in Union County, and we're all very pleased to be there at the Lesner ribbon cutting. Another less positive topic for tonight, I think, is New Jersey Transit, which has gotten a lot of heat in the press lately, and some would say deservedly so. Service definitely needs to be improved. There's been a lot of train cancellations. Commuters are very distressed, and the kind of service that the service changes that have happened are not acceptable, and New Jersey Transit understands that. Of course, when they have engineers just not show up for work, that really makes a problem, and trains do get canceled. Freeholder Bergen is the chairman of the Raritan Valley Rail Coalition, and as a member of the coalition working with him, we've been attending meetings with New Jersey Transit throughout the year. At the last meeting, they gave us some bad news that because of the work that needs to be done for positive train control, that's the controls that to prevent a tragedy like the Hoboken train station crash. They've done that work with many of the other rail lines, but they are doing it on the Raritan Valley line from the September 10th until probably right after the New Year. We hope it will be sooner, but that's not too likely. So we had succeeded in getting one-seat rides on the off-peak hours for Monday to Friday trains, and those, unfortunately, are going to be put on hold until this positive train control work is done. New Jersey Transit has assured us we will get back the one-seat ride. We are going to hold them to that, but that is something that our commuters and train riders are going to have to put up with. And but let me also mention that there have been some complaints also from some of our legislators. Well, those of us who've been watching transit for the last 10 years know that the previous governor did not fund New Jersey Transit or public transportation to the level that it was supposed to be funded. So, it's a little disingenuous, let me say, for someone to speak out now when they really needed to be speaking out for the last 8 years. Governor Phil Murphy has put hundreds of thousands of dollars into transit. It is going to get better, but we have to put up with some more disruptions in service for the next few months. So we'll keep talking to New Jersey Transit, and as your Union County representatives, we'll try and keep on top of this. So thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I want to start off by acknowledging you, Vice Chair, because I know you're the one that first initiated the concept of the library grants. So we thank you for that, and I want to thank also Open Space Chairman Mirabella for continuing on with that and making sure providing funding and resources to our libraries here in Union County. Also, we mention of, per our vote today in reference to capital bond ordinance, it is important to mention that this is the first year in recent memory that we are paying off more debt than we are authorizing. The overall total of $37,235,560 is the lowest being requested in about at least 4 years. I'd like to thank our county manager for his efforts in working with our department heads and finance director B.B. Taylor in crafting a fiscally responsible capital budget. As part of this Freeholders initiatives in making sure we're working together and emphasizing fiscal responsibility, we were also able to pass a final budget a few months ago with one of the lowest tax increases in years. This year's capital budget reflects this approach, but at the same time includes many important investments that maintain our high quality of services for our residents. Some of these investments include, we're replacing voting machines to include a paper trail, we're funding substantial road projects throughout the county, we're allocating money to expand and improve our county park system, we're upgrading of the courthouse boiler system and will improve efficiency and save our overall energy costs. We're also upgrading fire alarms and suppression systems in our buildings to improve safety. We're purchasing new equipment for our print shop, which is a revenue center and shared service. We're allocating funds to support our VOTEC schools and Union County College. And also want to make mention of how about the roughly $37 million being authorized, the VOTEC accounts for $2 million and $317,000, and Union County College accounts for $9,105,000. That represents a total of 30.675 of the overall debt for the educational purposes. And that goes in line with this Freeholder Board in making sure that we continue to improve the lives of our residents and our youth when it comes to education and the quality of life. And this couldn't have been done without every single member of this Freeholder Board working alongside our county manager and our county staff, and knowing that we're here working for our residents and we're making sure that we continue to work for our residents in making sure we're fiscally responsible while continuing to improve the quality of services. So with that said, I ask a motion to adjourn the meeting.
moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.